4 Blue Armies Land Defense Brigade, 2 Red Armies Armored Group Army. Yes, you heard it right. The troops who lack military training not only blocked the steel-red current, but also successfully defended the line of defense. After more than 40 days of fighting, the Blue Army began to counterattack with the support of a large number of troops and defeated nearly 1,000 tanks of the 1st Infantry Tank Group Army. In the early morning of February 24, 2022, at the same time as the Gifu defense station was sounded, a large number of armored units appeared on the eastern border of the Blue. At that time, the Red Command has already launched an attack in the early morning. The 1st Infantry Tank Group Army crossed the border and quickly advanced towards the capital of the Blue. They were going to launch an attack on the left and right and take down the Gifu before the Blue Army reacted. Although the people and the local government found this situation in time and reported it to the Blue High Command, all the troops at this time were defending the capital of the Ming Swan Line and had no time to move eastward. And the governor of Sumy, Dmitry, thought that this opportunity was also deep and had to block these armored units. At the very least, they had to delay their actions and win more time for the capital. But at this time, the Blue Army of Sumy was only the 58th. With this little force, the Blue Army wanted to block an armored group without hesitating. And behind the tank armored team, the Red 4th Infantry Tank Division and the 47th Tank Division and a large number of infantry troops advanced towards Sumy. Even the northern Zhuruhov region was also attacked by the Red 90th Tank Division. In the face of this situation, the Blue 58th Infantry Division commander, Oleg Salditsky, decided to turn a blind eye and disperse the troops to important cities in case of encirclement. At the same time, the Blue 58th Infantry Division also sent the 16th Reconnaissance Battalion to the border area to track down the Red troops. But when the 16th Battalion marched along the 1101 highway, it was encountered by the Red Armored Team. A fierce battle broke out at random. Obviously, they only equipped armored trucks and had no resistance in the face of the tank army. In an instant, 3 BMPs and 1 MPLB tank were destroyed. Then the Blue 16th Reconnaissance Battalion retreated to Zhuruhov. The Red 90th Tank Division's front armored team continued to delay the advance to the west of the 101 highway. But just when they were about to take off, the Blue 58th Infantry Division also received an order from the government. They tried everything they could to harass and tried to delay the advance of the Red side. And this war is about the survival of the country. Although the Blue 58th Infantry Division has won a certain number of battles, the Red 90th Tank Division's offensive momentum seems to have not been affected. The battle in the southern Sumy city is more intense than the battle in the northern Tufei and Mengjing. After the Red 27th Infantry Division and several armored teams crossed the border, the governor of Sumy, Dimitrov, began to unite the local troops and quickly organize thousands of volunteers. And then the Blue 117th Land Defense Brigade was established. In addition, the Blue Supreme Command also urgently dispatched the 81st Air Assault Brigade to support the Sumy city. But that's far from enough. After reporting to the governor, they decided to mobilize the masses to bring a large number of sealed weapons from the warehouse to the streets and distribute them to the civilians who resisted on their own. In just one morning, more than 1,000 people began to gather after receiving weapons on the streets and formed the 15th Independent Land Defense Troops on that day. Seeing this, there must be a lot of friends who think that these teams are not easy at all. In fact, the core of the land defense troops that the Blue side has urgently established is made up of veterans who have participated in the Donbass War. They are responsible for training these self-proclaimed residents and command battle. On the morning of the 24th, with the Red 27th Infantry Division, they began to advance towards the city and officially launch the Sumy defense battle. But unlike the previous siege, the Red side only quickly crossed the main city and did not stay to the west. They are very likely to be in the reconnaissance city to deploy troops and resist the people. At 1:35 p.m., the two teams of the Red 47th Tank Division began to attack the Sumy city and occupied the main road around it. At the same time, the Oharchka, which is 60 kilometers south of Sumy city, was also attacked by the Red 4th Tank Division. They quickly advanced towards the town along the T-705 highway, but the traffic was so bad that there was only a blue 91st Infantry Troop and an urgent 154th Land Defense Battalion and a 58th Mobile Reconnaissance Team stationed in the city. Once the area is lost, the East Road network will be impenetrable. Realizing the situation, the Blue Army Command immediately withdrew the elite 93rd Mechanized Travelers Support Oharchka. But due to the urgent situation, the 93rd Mechanized Troop, which could not gather all the troops, had to lead two main battalions, H-12, to the north. At this time, the Oharchka's garrison also encountered the Red 96th Reconnaissance Troop, which was the vanguard, and had a fight. Although the Red side broke into the city, the Blue 93rd Mechanized Troop immediately launched a counterattack and captured a reconnaissance vehicle team of the Red side first. Even though it was just a small victory, it was a great encouragement for the morale of the people in Sumy province and the northeast. These famous soldiers no longer feared the so-called Iron Red Current and broke the myth that they could not defeat. After the western border was occupied, the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group Command immediately adjusted its strategy and ordered the 4th Tank Division's 423rd Regiment, MP-45, to advance to the north, attacking in accordance with the main force of the 47th Tank Division. They decided to fully exert the advantage of the mechanized armored troops, thereby separating around those cities that may have heavy troops. As long as the main force of the Red 1st Reconnaissance Group can get rid of the interference and appear in the east of Gifu, there is no doubt about the result of this war. But the imagined reality is very cruel. More and more volunteer land defense troops began to act after dark. In the form of a small team, they wandered in various cities looking for opportunities. At 10 p.m. on the 24th, a Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group that had been transporting oil and supplies to the front line was found by the Blue Land Defense Team and caught fire. Although it was hit by light weapons, the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group did not stop, but instead tried to escape. Due to the lack of heavy weapons, the soldiers of the Blue Land Defense Camp could only ask for help from the training school of the 27th Artillery Brigade and drove the two self-propelled cannons into the street and fought with the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group. In the end, the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group was destroyed on the street under the impact of the self-propelled cannons. After the destruction of the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group, the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group also made a great deal of noise and ordered the 27th Artillery Brigade to move to the city to cut off the contact with the outside world. On one hand, they tried to block the Blue Army's resistance in the city. On the other, they increased the speed to enter the city. The Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group's vanguard troops were running at a distance of only 200 kilometers. In 4 hours, they could meet with the West Army and take down the capital of the Blue Army. It turned out that the Red Army had a significant advantage after the 4th and 47th Artillery Brigades met with the Red Army. The Blue 81st Airborne Brigade stationed in Sumy City also received a secret from the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group. In any case, they wanted to cut off the Red 2nd Artillery Brigade's plan to advance to the capital. In fact, before the arrival of the 81st Airborne Brigade, the mayor of the Red 1st Reconnaissance Tank Group, Oleksandr Bakhlikov, had called on the people to form a national defense volunteer team to prepare to defend their homeland.